Problem 12. We have f of x equals 6 square root of x plus 7, and we want to evaluate the expression f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So what do we get? Well, let's take it bit by bit. F of x plus h, x has been replaced by x plus h. So everywhere in this expression, we have to replace x by x plus h. We don't replace it just here. If we replace it here, we've got to replace it everywhere. So we get what? 6 times the square root of what? Well, it's the square root of x here, but x has been replaced by x plus h, so it's 6 times the square root of x plus h plus 7. Well, now we have the expression for f of x. Right there it is. And certainly we can write h so that we have everything we need to write this expression. So that f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h equals 6 times the square root of x plus h plus 7 minus f of x. Now here we've got to be a little bit careful. F of x has two terms. If we just write 6 square root of x plus 7, we've messed up. You want to stop and think about that for a minute and see what we need to do to make this right? It'd be a very good idea, because it's a very common mistake. Okay, well, we're subtracting f of x, which means we subtract all of f of x. We don't just subtract the first term in f of x. The way we do that, of course, is we put parentheses around the expression that stands for f of x. And then we divide by h. And what's that equal to? That's going to be 6 times the square root of x plus h minus 7 minus 6 square root of x, distributing the minus through, minus 7. The 7 is plus. Okay, we divide by h, and what happens? And what happens to the 7s, and what wouldn't have happened to the 7s if we hadn't put these parentheses around? Well, 7 minus 7 is 0, so that the 7s don't occur here. So we end up with 6 times the square root of x plus h minus 6 times the square root of x divided by h. Now some people would say the 7s cancel. I don't like to use that word. This plus 7 and minus 7 add up to 0, and 0 makes no contribution to the numerator. Therefore, by properties of identities, etc., we end up with this. I don't like crossing things out. I don't like cancellation, because people always do it wrong. Okay. Still, I mean, if you want to cancel and if you do it right, okay. But if you do it wrong, I'm not all that sympathetic in grading a test, okay? You want to be sure that if you do it, you do it right. Okay. I don't penalize it extra heavily, but I'll penalize it. Okay. So now we have this expression. We want to do this expression. We want to write this expression in the simplest possible form. And to do that, I think I would factor out the 6. Although, if you write this, you're probably most of the way there. If you forget those parentheses, of course, I'm not going to be too sympathetic about that. But if you get to here, you've got the majority of credit on the problem. If you then subtract the 7 to simplify it to here, you've got all but a couple of points. But we want to factor out the 6. So that's 6 times the square root of x plus h minus the square root of x divided by h. And of course we could write that, and no penalty if you just leave it like this. 6 times the square root of x plus h minus the square root of x divided by h. Now this is important algebra, especially if you get to the point where you've got to take some sort of a calculus test, calculus class. There's even more to this, and I'm tempted to go there, and I think I will in a supplemental video, but I'm not going to include it in this video. We'll just stop right here.